Ready to come for our first lesson about React. Fourth. Yes, fourth. So today I will begin from news. I added a page to wiki. Now you can find our links which I sent you during the lessons. It's sorted by every lesson, so you can find here images and links. So Lynn said me really good topic which we should discuss a little bit about how to create build for production mode. So as you understand rightly, if we go to article list, these prop types only for us, only for developers. It's just tests our dynamic typization of JavaScript, but in production mode we don't need these prop types. So because of it, I highly recommend you to read how to work with it. So you will build this config in babel.rc. So here instructions how to work with this file, how to use babel.rc. It's not only for React, it's for your dev stack. Also, there is a plugin how to remove prop types from your React application, also in Babel. And also, React guys from Chrome extensions updated it. And if you have this extension in your Google Chrome, if you click on it, it will tip you that your development build is not suitable for production. And there is a documentation how to suit it to the production mode. So all these links I'll send you and add to our wiki page. So I think it will be useful for you in your real projects. So today we will cover. So today first our last lesson for React. Next lessons will be for Redux, React routing. It's advanced API of React Redux development. And today we will cover how to attach third-part components to your application. Because as I said a lot of times before, in internet you can find a lot of ready components which you need just attach to your application and don't reinvent a bicycle. So first we will begin from validation our form. So first let me to return to our commit. So we will use third-part library for form validation of pure React. It calls custom validation. This is from guys from Vacuum Labs. I use it in real projects. I like it really. So also recommend you, and today we will use it how to attach it rightly. So first, if we read the documentation and think about how our application will be, first we need to create functions which will validate our forms. For example, is it a mail, or maybe it's not enough symbols on the field. If we watch it, our form, we'll see we have only title and text. And we, for example, add validation that minimum symbols should be 5. Yes, because we can't post. Oh, okay. I know what is it. Yes, it's a mistake because we publish the empty article. So I don't have information here. It's a mistake. So first we need validate that we required all fields. And for example, title shouldn't be so long. For example, let it be title maximum 10 symbols. So let's first create these functions which will validate our fields. We will call it validations rules. So first export and it will be function which arguments will be text which we validate and how many symbols we require it. For example, length. So first we'll call export const min length, and we should return if text length or equals or bigger, we will return nothing. If it's invalid, we should return a error message, for example, too short. Yes? So it's our first rule for min length. Also, we need rules for max length. It will be almost the same, max, len. Also, arguments will be text and length. And it will be something like that. But here should be less than length. If it's less than null, else too big. Too big. So we created rules which will validate our form.
Maybe not React node, but I think you can write it in double ampersand without need of writing null.
Double ampersand?
It's like short.
We should return something. We should return or null or too short, because here we should return message. If it's okay, we should null message. Yes, because yes, also we can use this one, but we must return something.
I see.
So, but this is not React part. For example, if you would like to validate email, it will be really difficult to write regular expressions for valid email. So I also recommend you non-React library to validate your text. For example, validator is email. You can read documentation here and validate everything what you need. So, but here we need only text, min length and max length. So, okay. So we created rules, and let's read our documentation about React Custom Validator. First, we need to create validation config. This config is responsible for what the rule should be on the field. For example, on a password, we should attach min length min length text. On email, we check it on is email or and is unique. So we need to create the same config for our application. So let's create it. It will be JavaScript Validation config. I created already at home this one. So first, I need to import my validation rules, and I export function will return object. First will be fields, what the fields we have in our application. We have title and text. Also in array we put title, text. Also validation property is object for which field we use which rule. For title, we will use min length. The rest of arguments will be arguments in our function. For example, if we go to validation rules, we should pass text and length. Here we pass text and length, and here also text and length. So, why it's array? It's array because you can attach many rules for every field. For title, we pass min length and month length. So, it's clear? It's not React part, you just need to read documentation about it. So here, yes. So, okay, we created config, we created rules. Next part, we need to create logic, how to show our message. If it's valid, what we should show. It's invalid, what we do. So because of it, we need to wrap our for component to validated form component. It's not a hack, harder component. It's just we reinvent our form component to stateless form component. We will remove all our states and methods. It will be dump component. So let's create JavaScript validated form. Cool. And here we will, I create snippets. Ta-da! So yes, because we spend a lot of time to write export default class and so on, so on, so on. So in validation form, we should pass our state, also prop types, what else we need? We need handle change and handle click. We don't need here anymore. Cool. So, and here we just write render form. Cool. So let's read the documentation one more time. So yes, here we return form with validation config, and we need to validate our, here we write, if I remember, validated form, and here we also need our validation config. So it will be validation config from validation config. Something like that. It's not a magic. This is everything from documentation to wrap like this one. So yes, you hear validated, validation. Oh, sorry, yes, here should be validated. This validated will come from our third part component. First, we need to install it. Pin -s. How to install it? Here we import it from validation. And oh, sorry, forget. Something like that. Is it clear? Again, everything from documentation. We should put validated, wrap our validation config, and wrap our form component. This one. So we put everything, and now we begin to pass our props from validated form to form. So first we need to change it from app. It's not form, it's a validated form from validated form. Clear? Goes to here. So first, what should we pass? If we goes to here, oh, it will be mistake, yes. We should pass our title and text, because here we keep an in our state and write title text. Use destructurization. Also, we need to pass our change method, which will change our state. It's a handle change. We'll call it on change. This handle change. Next one. We need to pass function which will fire it when our form is valid. When our form is valid, we need to publish this article to our article list. For this, method is responsible for handle click. We pass it on valid. This handle click. And also, if we go here, we pass add article. We also need to pass it to our form. Article, destructurized from our props. So, yes. So we pass everything to our form. Now goes to our form, we need to work with it. So we don't have state anymore. So we will have text, title text on change on valid and add article. As we wrap it here, we also have some props from third-party component. It will be, it goes here, this one. This is everything from documentation. We've got title, text, on change, on valid, and we have 3 more props from our third-party component. Field, validation, and submit. So, let's do step by step. First, we need to pass field. Field, it's a props which will attach our rule to our field. How to do it? If we go to documentation, we can find it here. This one. So, field, email, and wrap our value. So I prepared also for us this one. And it will be like this. So what we have? Title, ID title, type text, value, title, it's a field title, and type title. Clear? And the same stuff we should pass to our text input. And here, text. Now we attach our validation rules to our fields via this field prop. We pass it. Now we should somehow show to user the error message if it's invalid. It shows via validation. If we go here, yes, something like that. And here we show our message. I also prepared stuff for our application. I will show you this one. And we after label here and here. Explain. If validation title show has something, we show mistake. Validation, title, error, reason. Reason, it's a message. Clear or not? I think not. How this library works? It works not in it's valid or invalid. It's work on would I like to show you something or not. If I would like to show something, I will show you a message. If I don't want to show, it's valid. Okay? And next stuff, it's a submit. Submit, it's just a function which we need to attach to our onClick. How to attach it? We just write submit, and here will be arguments. If we go to our submit, yes, submit, it's a function argument which on valid function, if our form is valid, what should we do? And if it's invalid, what we should do? So on valid, we pass our function on valid. Something like that. So let's test it. I hope it will be clear. So let's go to our, yes, our console is clear. Form is not defined. Where? Form, validation, form. Form and
you have to import, I think.
Oh, here.
Form. You use form in return, but
oh yes, you're right. Thank you. Thank you. Form from. Form for yeah. We have something. You see? To short. Let's go to our index.html and color to red. I added to, if we go to validated form, I add class to somehow highlight our message. And here we'll write color red. Yes, something like that. So why it's, yes, you see it's a key typing sensitive. It means if I remove and don't unfocusing, it's too short. Again, 1, 2, 3, 1. Now will be 5, clear, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, too big. Works. So, and if we write add article, it doesn't work. Now it's work. Oh, I know why. Do you remember to our API article JSON? We pass ID, date, title, text, and comments. In our validation form, we pass title, text, ID, and unfortunately don't pass comments. Let's pass it also. It will be empty. Maybe in future we will add some comments to our application. Three, 1, 2, 3. And I have one mistake on click, submit, change. Now I would like to understand why it's added.
Valid.
Yes, you see it's valid. It's
every time.
Yes. So we have on change here, somewhere on click, submit, on change. Let's return to our relation.
It should be like
is valid or something like that. I think.
On valid, it's a function.
Yeah, I know.
Yes. So if you add is valid, we should return bool. But here we don't return anything. So let's find why it's validate all time. Maybe I have something like here. No.
Isn't this set state triggering always? Like resetting your values in handle click?
Yes, it on
Valid, you
handle
call
click.
handle click and you are resetting state.
Sorry?
Yeah.
On valid, you are calling this handle click,
Yes.
which calls this set state and reset your title and function.
Yes, but on valid should fire when I click to add article. So if I remove it, let me check, please. No, yes. Looks good. On click function. This one. Works. So yes, if we add article, it's too short, and we don't add it. So let's add here something. It's too short text. Works. But so we created validation of our form. But you see, when we add our article, it becomes clear, but our form validation say, oh, it's too short. After add article, we don't want to see any validation messages. They also have this field event. Where is it? Yes. Field event. We need to pass reset here. So it means then when we clear our set state, we should fire function field event reset. It will reset our form. Here we will write field event reset. But I have one question for you. Field event in form, how we can pass field event? Because it's from here. We need to pass it to somehow to our parent. Do you have any idea how to pass it to validated form? Where? We just pass it to our here, to onValid. And here we will get file event here. Let's test. Doesn't work. Do you have any idea why it doesn't work? I can show you. File event. In console we will see, do we really pass this function or not? If we pass, let's play it in our console window. Field event equals field event. Open our console. We pass it. You see? We pass it, but it doesn't work. We pass it to our window, so field event reset. Works. And now question, why it doesn't work here? Any ideas?
Maybe like asynchronous or something like that.
Because set state asynchronous and code works as we fire these functions, see this is asynchronous, goes to another flow and run this one. After that we will run this one. So it works like this. Because of it, we reset our form, after that change state and reset our form. Now question, it's asynchronous function, this is synchronous function, but we need to keep our order like this. How we can do it?
Then or promises.
No promises.
There's a second parameter to set state. Like
Oh,
function.
you mean pass not object pass function?
I think
Here.
the set state has a like a callback.
Yes, it's a callback,
Yeah.
which return object.
No, like you have the first parameter is object and
Yes.
second parameter is.
I'm not sure that set state has callback.
No, I think I've used
Actually,
this
saw
once.
that after object, just comma and write the arrow function.
Yeah.
It will do the callback.
Let's try it, I don't know. Never use it, to be honest. If yes, it will be surprising.
But if you use arrow function,
Yeah, use in arrow function.
Here,
Not there.
like this?
The
The second
even, the
parameter.
fill even.
Oh, here,
Put it, yeah, in the arrow function.
like this? Okay, let's try. I don't know, really. I don't know about the second parameter of set state. Works, cool. But I would like to show you another approach. For example, here we have only one function. But if we have really big logic, we don't want to use this logic here in set state. The approach from lifecycle hooks. You see, when we change our set state, we render our form component and pass this empty title to text via props to form. It means that form gets new props. If we go to our lifecycle hook, we have method setProps and component we receive props. This method is fired when you pass new props to your child component. Let's use it. And when we don't need to pass field set here as arguments, just here form component will receive props. Maybe I have, no, I don't have. Component will receive props. In arguments we have next props, and here just use destructurization via next props. We need filed event, title, and text. So let's do not pass it here. And just write if we don't have title and we don't have text, again, if title is empty and text is empty, reset. Let's test it. What's going on? This handle click. Oh, yes, sorry. Yes, mistake here. Why this approach is better than pass it to callback? Because you see, no, too short, too short. Yes, if we don't use will receive props, when we delete it, we will have too short. But now, as we have new props, we clear it. Again, I will show you this one. Pass it here. Let's return everything from here. Pass it. You see? Too short. I don't want to, for example, fill in this form, but it called me too short, too short, too short. So if we use this approach, it will not show. Clear. And clear. Let's test it and commit. Works. So it was about form validation. Do you have any questions?
I think it's a bit sophisticated way to just check the length of text, you know. Maybe there is some simpler.
It will be simpler when we will use Redux. But in pure React, otherwise you need a component which will all time check your form.
But I thought that I can write some function and set it to on change and everything would be nice. Maybe.
Let's prepare it. Maybe you'll prepare it and we'll see. Because I know that using just pure React without any, it's difficult, more difficult than using third-party components, right, for validation.
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe there is some more sophisticated logic for validation, and there is a good reason to use this one. But in this case, it's.
Do you know why it's hard? Because your validation should be flexible. It means for one field you can add a lot of rules.
Yeah.
If only one, yes.
Sure.
But if many, it will be much more difficult. Okay, maybe.
Yeah, just a small question about form.
Yes.
Is this stateless component right now?
Now form is stateless.
So should it be a function or class?
It could be function.
Could be or must be?
Could be.
Could be. Okay,
Because
that's the question
you have component will receive props. This method, it will, I don't know how to add it to function. It's just a method of a class.
Yes. I just remember that we said that stateless component should be function.
Yes, should be. And it's easy to read if you have component. Of course, if you render only one div, It's easy. It's more readable to use just functions. But when you have
I use
prop
class
types,
for everything. It's not a mistake.
it's not mistake. It's not mistake.
Cool. And I asked also about the performance. There is no really difference between
So
the
we can forget functions.
Don't forget, because if you have really small component, it's easy to use just functions. But if you have a lot of methods, lifecycle hooks, prop types, it's easy to read via class. But if you just, I don't know, pass something small, it's better to use functions. Okay, so we have 15 minutes. I think we will catch it. Also, it was third-part component, but let's add one more third-part component. Imagine if we have a lot of articles here, we would like to have like a search, yes, like a filter. If we have 1000 articles, let's attach here filter as date picker. We will filter our articles via filtering by date of publish. So as I said, you in internet you can find a lot of interesting components. Here GitHub page, which recommend you use next. Overlay, menu, sticky, chart, icons, everything what you need. So now we will use date picker, this one. So it's just component which show you date, and we will use date range. Where is it? This one. For example, in Airbnb, you just add range. Yes. But you need just pass props and everything will work. So let's see how build it. So first let's install it. This one. And let's create component filter. Filter, go to app, import from filter, and put it after our form. Good. Let's go to our filter again. Filter, and here we just will pass our date picker. Where is it? This one. So we need import date picker from React date picker, and let's see what we've got. If we click on it, you see here input, but if we click, you see something unstyling. Yes, it's obvious that we need to pass also style, but how to do it? It's easy to use Webpack. Just goes to our documentation. Where is it? Yes, in GitHub. I will do it for you. So again, React awesome date picker. They recommend us just import styles. It's possible using React. So we will import it. And also they recommend us use Moment.js library. It's a library to working with date. This one. We will use it to compare our date, change formats, so you can use it also. So to import styles via Webpack, it's not enough just a simple config. You need to install some modules for Webpack. We will not pay attention a lot because it's not React. Webpack, it's not React. But I'll send you also documentation how to install CSS loader to Webpack. So we just need style loader and CSS loader. Let's install it together. Why? Because it's work here. Maybe I've installed it already. Successfully done. Let me think. No, I don't. So we need to install npm minus style loader and CSS loader and add to config test and rules. Loaders, tests, extension will be CSS, loaders will be CSS loader and style loader. Include we don't need. So we need to rerun. Yes, you see mistake. Error in CSS. So style loader, how it's, yes, first style, second is CSS. You already install it. And again to run our npm. Spend a little bit time. Successful. Cool. Let's return our application. Click on it. So we have styles. It's much more easier using Webpack. So we added our styles. Let's pass data via props to our, where is it? Yes, this one. We need to pass these two guys. First, we need to pass what is selected. Start date, end date, and on change. So we will keep our start date and end date in application state because this data describes our application. Date, start, date, and date. Cool. We pass it. Here we pass to filter date equals state dot date. Oh, let's use it. Start date from state. So we pass data to our filter component. Here we use destructurization, get it from props, date, and again use destructurization to get start date and end date from date. Start date, end date, start date, end date. So let's remove it for a little bit time. Let's see what we have now. But I think you will not see anything because we don't change our state. It's always 3 days. We need to create method which will change our date. It's pretty simple. And question, where we need to write our method to change state, to change date? Method keeps where we need our date. And just write change date. Here will be field because we have start and date. And here just write set state date right? And question for you, is it valid? No, it will not valid. Why? Imagine in date we have end start date and end date, 2 props. Here we've got, for example, start date and value, and set state date, start date, value. So we will rewrite our object and we'll remove end date. We rewrite, we don't merge, we rewrite. If we write here, we will merge. But if we have 2 levels of nested of our object, we will rewrite. So because of it, we need to use our function state return, and here just clear. What does it mean? First, we've got all date props, date state, which we have. After that, we merge it. Here we pass preview. For example, let's imagine here we have null and null, and click start date, for example, 3rd of May. Here we change state to 0, 0, null, null, and just rechange start date to 3rd of May. So we don't rewrite. Here we just merge it if you pass the previous state. Clear? You do it only if you have more than 1 level of nested. If you don't understand it now, in practice you will see it and will remember about it. So let's pass change date to our this change date. Let's go to filter. In props we have change date, and on change just write on change change date, and here we pass event. First will be start date, event, target, value. Here will be the same, but end date. Is it clear? Okay. And let's see what we have now. Can reduce property undefined. Oh, sorry, it's not E. If we wish goes to, we don't need it. No need it. Here you need to pass not E. Here we need to pass selected date. select, and here you pass select. Because this library, this component created that if you click on it, we remember our value which we clicked. So let's see, we don't need this one, we don't need this one, we don't need this one. Let's see. Cool. Looks good. And let's go to our React. We have state date, which will keep start date and end date, and data. Not end data, and date. But you can see that in date don't have string data. We have moment object. This is from moment.js. Because of it, guys from the React Date Picker recommend us use moment.js. Now we need to create logic which will filter by our dates, because now we just change our state, change our dates, but we not filter it. How to do it? Question for everybody. Don't need it, don't need it. Where we should write our logic of filtering? Imagine that we need change, filter our articles only after set state. Because when we click on it, we change state. In previous example from form validation, you remember that set state is asynchronous. So we can't do logic after set state. Where we can write our filter logic? Where? Component did mount. Component did mount, as you remember, is fired only once, but we can change our date all time. We'll update. Component will update. It's run after forced update. I suggest you use component will receive props, because we can pass our props date to article list and keep logic of filtering article list in article list. Let's try date. Date. That's all. Let's go to article list and write component will receive props. Next, props. So here we have date, next props, start, date, and date. So here we should write logic of our filtering. But you see that articles we've got from props. You should understand that we need to pass here filtering articles. It means we need to change our articles in this component. So it means we need to have our own state in article list, which calls filters. Here in this array we will keep our filtering articles. And here just write. So in next props we have start date and end date. Here we write the next. If start date. Let's see what we have in next props first. Okay, thank you for coming. See you. we have date, articles, and remove articles. We need to compare now date and article list date. Yes? It's pretty simple. Right, const filters. No. Let's imagine if we don't use filter, we would like to see all articles. It means if we don't have start date and we don't have end date, filters will be articles. Yes? So we don't need it here. Const filters state articles from here. Is it clear? If we don't have start date and end date, we show all articles. If we don't have start date and end date, we show all articles. But if we have, we write const filters articles using functional programming. Filter, it's a method of array articles, article, and here we should return what we would like to show, which is valid for filter. Here we connect our moment.js from moment, because we keep our date in moment, as you remember, object, and return moment article date is between start date and end date. Cool? If between is a method from moment.js. Because of it we use it. So if we go to here, no docs. Yes, is it between? Check if a moment is between two other methods. Why I put article date to moment? Because article date we keep in string. To convert our string date to moment.js object date, we need to pass it to moment function. And just set filters. Let's check it. Here we see all. Yes, because it's empty. Oh no, I'm not mistaken. I'm mistaken, yes. Or is better. We need to put two dates. Because if we have only one, we don't have limits, we don't have bounds. Sorry for little bit don't catch time, but this is final. So let's from 10 to don't have from fifths. It means if we add something new, we will not see it. We don't see it. So let's see from today, from 1st to 18. We see it. And let's return to our article list. This is from 4th of March. It's a USA date convention. 1st of March. And let's, from 1st, we have everything. And for example, to 4th. No, 5.
If you remove the end date, you don't show anything.
We change date. Again. Let's 5th, 6th, 7th, 8th, 9, add something new, don't see. Goes to today, where is today?